Mishmash! Kitbash Corner!
Yeah, today we are doing by far my most ambitious kitbash on the channel. In the wake of the new Defiler coming out, and not being able to get my hands on one, I decided to get one of the classic ones. I will say the new one is actually one of the few new Hammer models that I like about as much as the old one. However, the blocky nature of the original one is endlessly charming to me. But in this video, I decided to take things further, as we'll be combining a Hellbrute, a Leviathan Dreadnought, and the original Defiler to create a new unit for my custom warband. As you can imagine, this took a lot of effort, so if you could leave a like, comment, and subscribe, maybe share it with a friend, that would mean the world to me. And before we actually get into the kit bashing, let's just get the promotional bit out of the way. For just $3 a month, you can support my channel, and you get access to videos early, and for $5, you get access to a weekly stream in which I'll showcase your models. In these streams, you also get to see me work on these projects early, and on top of it, you allow me to do this as a job. Huge thank you to my channel members, you guys are amazing. And if you want to use any of the products I use in these videos, you can use my affiliate links in the description to get your mitts on them, as well as apply my discount codes. This, of course, being Wargames Atlantic, Galiri, Strange Plastic, and Golden Maple. But enough of the promotional stuff. Let's actually get into the kit bashing. I should say, as kind of a preface for the entire video, that I really debated kit bashing this because I've never had the original Defiler. Admittedly, I knew I needed to because, of course, why wouldn't I? But it was a bit of a challenge to figure out exactly what I should do to differentiate this guy from the original design. Part of this is stemming from the actual lore of my custom warband. Being that a Defiler is a locked demon engine, and my custom faction is more or less ignorant of their chaosification, I thought it would be fitting to make a combination Dreadnought / Hellbrute abomination. And since this is not technically a Defiler, I'm calling it an Agonizer, because it sounds cool. Now, another thing to mention is I ended up getting this secondhand because I foolishly waited until the old one was completely out of stock before purchasing it. So the model I ended up with was only partially brand new in the box. Everything was completely assembled already besides half the legs. And I will state, this is definitely an older kit that requires a lot of extra work to fill off and file off all the mold lines and cracks. So I will take 1 point for new Hammer for this, though there's plenty of reasons to give the new Hammer stuff, especially in the Horus Heresy side, a little bit of a hard time. The Leviathan Dreadnought, despite being super snug and sleek, is about 1,000,000 pieces. Actually building this thing does take quite a bit of time, but combining the two together, it doesn't end up that difficult. I will say most of this was because I didn't have the instructions. But as for the first major kit bash, I decided to fit a mangled Hellbrute face into the sarcophagus of the Leviathan Dreadnought. This face is especially perfect for my warband, as I really like the classic look of mangled, chaosified flesh faces. You're probably also wondering why I didn't just use a Hellbrute chassis. Well, it's just a tad bit smaller than the Leviathan Dreadnought, and I think that size does kind of matter in the end. Though I could go either way. I think both of them would work just fine. However, to kind of differentiate things, I ended up getting these tube rollers from Green Stuff World, and I ended up rolling up these big, nasty, fleshy tubes for the underside. You'll probably notice that they're really wrinkly, and this is on purpose. I created a lot more cleaner tubes for other projects you'll see coming up, but I think it works better to kind of go both horizontally and vertically when sculpting to create more of an intestinal look, which is actually something you'll see coming up later in the video. I really went hog wild with attaching these just wherever I could, as the main torso of the Leviathan Dread on top of the Defiler body does leave a lot of negative space. The original turret design is very boxy, and as a result it feels more befitting because, well, it's part of the kit. Also, I like going crazy with adding in fun little details like this. I even added some to the main portion of the sarcophagus to completely cover the inside and just make it look like an amalgamation of meat. I would say I teetered on the borderline of going a little heavy-handed with the tubes. However, I enjoyed doing it, it was fun, and on top of it, I just need to get more practice in with green stuff. God knows how many years now I've said I've needed to get better with it, and a big part of it is just simply practicing. I definitely did it early on with the channel, but I kind of stopped experimenting with it so much. I think I need to do that more now. I also ended up just taking the original blast shield face and putting it over the entirety of the sarcophagus. This was a fun little bit, and though admittedly I probably should have stripped this down before applying it, whatever, it still looks cool in the end. I probably should have added a little bit more green stuff to add a little bit more of an adhesion point to the main body. It doesn't look bad at the end result, mostly because it's painted. However, there are definitely some methods that I use later in the video that I probably could have applied to this. However, once the torso and the main body are assembled, this already looks incredibly sick. It looks imposing, it's creepy, it's just nasty and inhuman, which is something that I think the newer Chaos Demon engines kind of suffer from. However, it is basically to give them a little bit more flavor and their own design over Loyalist Space Marines. I'm not complaining about this, don't get me wrong. I like both relatively equally for different reasons. However, like I mentioned previously, I ended up using a few methods to kind of bulk out and add a little bit more chaosification and nasty chaos meat to the general design of the figure. To do so, I ended up using PVA glue and drenching over using some super glue. That way, I could adhere the Hellbrute pieces, this being the plasma cannon, and the nasty tentacles. This is a really easy way of not only adhering this cleaner to the main portion of the body, but it also adds to the theme of the figure itself. This is not a demon engine. This is a weird chaosified dreadnought. Something I kinda wish came back. I really do love Chaos Dreadnoughts. And you might be thinking that this looks really nasty and messy and overall just off-putting, which you'd be right, but I assure you it looks so much better once you apply a layer of primer. Everything kind of blends together. You'll also probably notice I ended up adding in the heavy flamers from the base Leviathan Dreadnought kit. This is cool as is, but we're going to be doing something to add a little bit more spice to them later on. This is mostly just a placeholder of sorts. However, once I was satisfied with the main build of the torso, I would begin constructing a bunch of little props and accessories to really make this thing stand out. The first thing I ended up doing was taking some marine bits and creating a very mangled effigy. For my Sons of Medusa army, I've been primarily using the Corvus pattern bodies from the Horus Heresy line, and I've been chopping off the torsos to replace them with Firstborn torsos, just to add a little bit more variation. This has left me with plenty of bits just sitting in the bit spin, so creating this dead guy works perfectly. Just a nice little combination of leftovers. I was half tempted to make this guy a Son of Medusa, however, I thought it would be funnier to just add in whatever chapter my chat asked for, and I guess I decided to do Storm Wardens. Got nothing against him, I actually really like this chapter, but it clashes nicely with the color scheme. But also, like I said previously, one of the best things of using those green stuff rollers isn't just for mechanical tubes. Rolling it like a tube and then going horizontal ends up with the perfect design for entrails. I ended up doing a gore video very early on in my channel's history, but I think this is something I'm gonna have to come back to because this just works perfectly. And we'll be adding in even more detail later on when we actually paint the base. Once he was pretty much built, he didn't have his hands yet, I fit him into the angled claws of the Defiler, and I would add some more entrails on top to create a nice gory scene. Will I get demonetized for talking about painted gore? I hope not. Especially because we're not done adding in dead Marines. The next bit I decided to use was the banner from the Night Lord's Kill Team box. This features a dead Astartes, essentially being crucified, and it works perfectly for a vehicle. I'm really surprised I haven't seen somebody do this yet. And sitting in the middle of the Leviathan Dreadnought with that little divot is the perfect placement. However, I will say, even though I did add a paperclip and a pin for stability, every time I had to reach for something across my desk, I would magically clothesline it and pop it off, to the point that I ended up having to completely redo it over and over and over again. This thing is the bane of my existence, but it's so worth it. It's so sick. But like I said, I wanted to add a little bit more pizzazz to the flamers, so I ended up just cutting these off using my clippers, and I would fit on new pieces. Albeit very messily, but for some reason this just works because it's a nice flat surface. Though it does definitely look a bit mangled the way I'm just carelessly chopping away at the actual heavy flamers, the replacement bits I ended up using fit perfectly, this being the dragon muzzles for the las cannons in the Chaos Rhino kit. These are a classic iconic staple of Chaos Space Marines, so I had to fit it in a kit bash sooner or later. Once I was happy with those, I ended up just adding in some more green stuff tubes, and I would add in a plasma nodule to the actual plasma cannon. I couldn't figure out how to build this because I kind of threw away the directions, but it ended up looking cool regardless. However, there's one huge factor that I have not yet addressed with this model. This being the Defiler battle cannon. I was considering just not doing this, but that wouldn't be right. It wouldn't be a Defiler anymore. I mean, it's not a Defiler, but you can get the picture. I'd probably run it as one anyway. At first I considered just sawing off the original, but that didn't feel right, and I kind of want to keep that bit for a future kit bash. So I ended up using an old weathering stick from Green Stuff World, and I just ended up sawing it down. I ended up ordering PVA crafting sticks, but oddly enough when they arrived, they were smaller than I needed, so this ended up working perfectly. And I would simply just add on the original muzzle to the gun. After doing so, I begin adding a healthy amount of PVA glue and the super glue yet again, but I would slowly start layering this over the barrel of the gun to create a nasty skin gun. This is... don't make the joke, come on, it's too obvious. Okay, you can make the joke, it's kind of funny. Layering this on using some texture brushes and very cheap brushes was essential, as just pulling it on would end up having some undesirable effects, and it can clog up some areas a little too quickly. Or if you're like me, I accidentally tipped the Defiler over and smudge it, and yeah, that sucked. Also, to add more structural density, I ended up just forcing the gun to chug super glue all the way down, which actually worked pretty well, and it built a nice robust connection to the inside as well as the outside of the body. Plus, it's just a really funny visual. Once the actual gun was in place, I would begin adding in just smaller little bits and bobs to the main portion of the armor, this just being effigies, Space Marine helmets, and I added in a little bit of chain link from a jeweler's kit. A classic little staple of Chaos Space Marine kit bashing, or at least World Eaters kit bashing. I used some Chaos Space Marine spikes, but I primarily used clipped paper clips. The Chaos Terminator spikes are great for aesthetic look, but the paper clips actually allow for the chain link to wrap around. And with those final little details, I would call this guy relatively complete, at least the main body. I did end up deciding to get a base for this guy, so I ended up making that its own little project. But I just want to give a quick word from our sponsor, Tabletop Stronghold. This model is rickety as all hell, and there's plenty of little bits that would definitely break off if I put it in foam. Thankfully I got the mag case, and with a healthy amount of magnets at the bottom of the base, I can take this big dumb sumbitch to the hobby store anytime I want and bean someone in the head with it. The mag case is perfect for any army of any size. With multiple divots for any shelf size of your choosing, you can carry around a kill team or a full-blown chaff-heavy army. And you can also get your hands on some pretty sick MDF terrain. And if I can sweeten the deal even further, make sure to plug my discount code MASH25 to save 25% off your purchase. Now that's a deal. Huge thank you to Tabletop Stronghold for sponsoring this video. Now, figuring out a basing scheme for this guy was a bit difficult because the previous bases I did for the Void Phantoms were not exactly something I was proud of. I essentially just used some asphalt gravel and a little bit of weathering powder. However, for this guy, I took it a step further by essentially just making it a pretty standard destroyed cityscape. I also ended up adding a completely separate leg piece for the dead marine. I'd also go pretty bananas with the blood spatter. However, I did want to contain it as I didn't want to go too crazy and completely make the base about the gore. It's just a nice little dash within the diorama. I also tried my best to avoid completely gunking up the main portion of the armor using the blood too, mostly containing it to the claw and a little bit of spatter on the main portion of the torso. Just very lightly, however. I also made sure to utilize the weathering powder as less of just a tinting and kind of a cheat code, but more so to kind of brighten up the base. Using the desert colors really did make for a much more warm tone for the base, contrasting more with the black tones of the main armor. The Void Phantoms at the end of the day are kind of a weird color scheme that I've found a lot of trouble kind of basing them in a way that I like thematically, but I think this works pretty well. I kind of have to commit to it now that I've done it, but the upside to doing bases like this in urban settings is adding in all kinds of basing details like the Marine to give a little bit of color contrast. And with those final details, this guy is complete. This was a hell of a project, though it's definitely one that I'm glad I finally got to finish. Yeah, there's a reason I did a random Marine video last week. I kinda just ran out of time with this one. So I think the delay was worth the wait. And I'll be honest, this is one of my favorite models I've ever kitbashed. Though I will say, painting it kinda sucked. I did not like painting this model at all. Not that there's a ton of chaos trim, but the color scheme really did kind of make things a little bit more difficult than it needed to be. Mostly the oranges and the whites. I probably should have used some more masking tape or just masking putty, just to make things a little easier on myself, but I didn't think it through. This is not really a fault of the figure, it's more a fault on me, which is usually the case. Regardless, I'm more than happy with the final result. It looks amazing, it's huge, it's imposing, and I think it's a unique model. Everything kind of came together on this one. If anything, I think I probably should have added in maybe a little bit more detail, but I don't know. Maybe it's best that I leave it as is. Hell, I'm not touching this thing again. As much as I'm tempted to fix it up in any sort of little areas, but I'm done. I've had my fill of this model, and I don't really have any regrets. But I definitely think I've been flapping my beak enough for one video, so if you enjoyed this, make sure to show some love in the comments, hit that like button, share it with your friends with Chaos Armies, and above everything else, remember to mishmash, kitbash, and paint some fantastic miniatures. And you're gonna. I promise. See ya.